Section 3 of Shadowland, November 1919. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Douglas Wood. A Dream of Dreams by C. Blythe Sherwood. Michio Ito, the name, the history, the personality, the symbol for which it stands, is, altogether, too big for a magazine story or any other printed kind. He takes much more space than can be measured to bind the limits of the beginning and the end of the tale. He requires a finer instrument than the writer as interpreter. It is the sort of material out of which Stuart Walker makes plays. Briefly, it is the fable of a boy, one who dreams and dreamt earnestly in Japan. A boy who has sought the world over for his home, and has come to realize that, literally, he belongs to no place, that he has inherited the right to make one where he will. A boy who studied in Germany, played in Paris, and found, at last, who he was, and who and why in England. A boy who in London one week was starving, and had to pawn everything he possessed, only to wake up the next week to find his name blazoned on all the billboards, himself one of the most desired, the most talked-of personages of the town. The land of the weeping willow tree, that is Ito's background. Violet skies, wisteria scent, and sandalwood. But away, way back, because Ito, when very young, left the Hanayagi school in Japan to continue his studies at the celebrated Dalcross School in Dresden. And after special courses in art and drama and literature, he went on seeking answers to his queries about these branches in India, Egypt, Africa, China, and Italy. He wanted to trace art to its very beginning. His one desire was to grasp everything there was to know about it. Ito's august father was an architect. Ito's family in Tokyo were prominent and wealthy. Ito did not have to work, but he always loved the theater, always. It was all play to him. It was the thing he cherished most. A few more or less Nippon pennies meant only, as Ito says, what you call here pin money. I liked rice cakes, and the tea parlors were charming, but the theater, to Michio, did not mean then, or will it ever, just a stage and footlights. Drama, Ito told me from his couch of orange velvet, is as fine a combination as the ballet. The ballet is the inseparable triumvirate of music, color, and rhythm. Drama adds another sovereign, literature. You do not know here, in one of the most beautiful cities of the universe, what drama is. You schedule first, when the piece is to open, and then you get ready to decide what it is going to be about. You say that in September this play will be presented, and yet it is only 2 or 3 weeks before the premiere that you begin to rehearse. What is the result? On the opening night, everyone is horribly fatigued. If they are not certain of their lines, they do not care. They are too tired. And the scenery? Never is it complete. The paint is still wet. The design not quite finished. This is not right. It is unnatural. It is forced. The atmosphere is tense. Everything and everyone could snap in a flash. That is not artistic. That sort of creation could never produce art. Why? We must be sure in art. We must not ask until we know what we want. We must not offer until we have something to give. We have to be calm. In Moscow? There you have your example of drama. A play given by the Stanislavski Theater is gone over and over and over, not for 1 month, not for 2 months, but for a whole year. By the time the actors come before you, they are not acting. They are living adaptations of their roles. Ask the chorus girl there, or the woman of the ballet in any foreign country, why she is doing that sort of thing, and what possible reason she has to remain content at only being a bit of the performance, and she will answer, "How well I know. I love it." Question any of your ponies or your showgirls here, and what do they say? They have but one retort: money. And yet it is queer, is it not, that in the Orient we are all crazy to come West. After all, even if drama did have its origin in the East, its modern examples are chiefly found in the Occident. In the Orient we may be true, but in the West, you see, you are new. That is where, and that is how, the East and the West separate. The East has the perfect spiritual understanding of art. the west the perfect material. The east, Ito continued, letting the shadow of his hand fall on the wall, sees the shadow and does not question about the hand. The west knows exactly what the hand is for and understands its composition, but it dismisses utterly the perception of the shadow. And that, again, is not art. It is not balanced. The world cannot be divided against itself like that. These two, together, must grow to comprehend that when you move the hand away, you move the shadow away, and that when you toy with your fingers, the shadow dances also. Ito rose. He went over to his desk and returned to me with a presentation. It was a decorative pamphlet, and in gold, on green, one read, Michio Ito's School, 9 East, 59th Street. Art and the Artist, on the first page, represents Ito's belief that art is the symbol of love, and the embodiment of this symbol is the artist. Inasmuch as art is a symbol of love, Ito is certain, then, that it must be universal, giving a spiritual interpretation to the visible and a material significance to the invisible, and that he only is an artist who makes these two relations manifest. One cannot be an artist in the true sense of the word if he walks in one of these paths to the neglect of the other. The world cannot accept him as an artist unless he has a perfect understanding of both the spiritual and the material, with the skill to represent them both in a significant form. This much, however, I will say, he continued. The East may have its dreams, but you have your producers. Of course, that is not perfect. What matter dreams to the principle of good when they remain latent, inactive? And suppose you do construct towers that kiss the sky, and plays that crowd the theater. How can their fulfillment be truthful when they are without dreams? There is no doubt about it. Now is the time to bring these two together. The East can derive so much from the West, and the West, I am positive, is beginning to awaken to the fact that it has a great deal to learn from the East. My one goal, at present, is to help to make this ideal possible. As a child, I wanted to dance. I had to dance, but I did not know why. After years of study, my answer came. It was because dancing dealt with only the beautiful, and because everyone has his own feeling and his own expression. My dance is the expression of my feeling through the movements of my body. Then I became the dancer, Michio Ito. I did not know why. Art, beauty, love, these are eternal, and when the dancer dies, so does the dance. But introspection finally brought the light, and I see today my duty to myself. I know now why I am. My dance is also going to be the medium to my crusade. I go back to my country this summer so that I can organize the Japanese ballet. It is going to be a colossal thing, a wonderful thing. My company, however, will be limited to 25. I shall not send for them. They will come to me. That is only how I know that they will be those who want the painting, motion, tone that I do. We shall study a long time in Japan, and then we shall perform, 12 weeks or so, in Paris. From there, the world will be our route. And do you know what I am going to do with the receipts? I am going to purchase something that I have always desired to have for myself and my friends, an island, one of the most exquisite Japanese landmarks in the inland sea. I have seen the ceiling of Italy, I have marveled at the green in Switzerland, but no place is more heavenly than the island I have in mind to buy in Japan. On that island will be built my dream of an institution. Around the university, villages will grow. The inhabitants can come from anywhere. The citizens will come from everywhere. It is going to be the center. Welcome to those who want to learn more and more about philosophy, literature, painting, sculpture, architecture, music, poesy, and dancing. Debussy, Rodin, and I talked this castle in the air over years ago when I was a child, and they helped me to spin my web. We knew it to be a universal dream, but never then did I think I should be so fortunate as to take the step. It is the place. Shaw and Mackay agree with me. That is needed to make the East West and the West East, the place where the twain do meet. This is Michio Ito's Dream of Dreams. End of Section 3. Read by Douglas Wood, in Utah.